Hello again, Clayton here. I thought I would take a little moment in this day to talk a little bit more about manifestation and creating your own life, and in general to talk about vibration, to talk about the essence of who you are, and the idea that your thoughts are vibrations, and that all the things around us are vibrations, that all atoms and all electrons are all vibrating, and they're all sending out different signals at different times to different things. And if you know anything about vibrations, or if you can sort of understand what they are, you think about them like waves. Things are vibrating in little waves all the time. And so as waves start to collide with each other, they start getting bigger, and they start getting bigger, and they start growing exponentially. And so when you're putting out a vibration, no matter what it is, whether it's peace and love and happiness, or fear and hate and loathing, you're going to be sending out these signals, and they're going to be aligning with other signals like them, and they are going to be drawing bigger and bigger and getting grander and grander. And so whenever you're going to be sending out a signal, understand that it's going to be collecting other like signals to it. The interesting about vibrations and waves in general is there was an experiment done a while back called the double slit experiment in physics. If anyone's ever taken any physics, you would understand this experiment. Essentially, there's a little slit that they were shooting electrons through. And like any gun, if you were to shoot it through a little slit in a piece of paper, you would sort of be able to see all the electrons on the other side of the paper. And this would be pretty obvious. Some would stick to the front of the slit, and some would go straight through. So in this experiment, they put two slits on there, and they watched and see what happened. And what they noticed was that the amount of electrons that they went through the one slit compared to the second one was the exact same. And this experiment was done back in the 50s to sort of prove that electrons were acting in a wave formation. So they wanted to see how this actually worked. Because normally if you had one little slit, they would just bounce some here, some there, and some would go straight through. They were noticing with two slits, these electrons all went straight through there. So they put a little device to actually watch the electrons as it went through these little slits to see how it acted as a wave, because they thought it would act like a particle. And they noticed that when they watched it, it actually went and cut itself in half. And the more that you watched these electrons, it actually turned into a particle. But when you didn't watch them, it stayed as a waveform. And this is a little fundamental of quantum physics, which is very interesting because when you think about things as waves and particles, one is a solid matter and one is acting as vibration. So essentially what the science community figured out a long time ago, and it's amazing that no one has really been able to bring it out until just recently, is that electrons and atoms in general act in two different ways. One when you're perceiving them, and one when they're just existing. When they're existing, they exist as vibration, as waveform, as a soup of vibration that's going all the time until it is viewed, until it is seen by, essentially from us, from many of our five senses, and then it takes on real matter. Then it takes on real form. Then it becomes a particle and acts like a particle with mass. So if you were to think about this and what the ramifications are, essentially all things all around you, no matter what they are, behind you, in front of you, at your work, at your job, someone behind the wall, unless you can see it or feel it or know that it's there with your own senses, it's essentially not. It is not there until you physically, with your eyes or any of your senses, actually accept that it's there, and then it becomes a particle and acts in a similar form. The rest of all the universe, even right now as you're just watching this, someone right behind you or to the left of you or wherever else it is all just infinite potential of vibration. And so it can and could be anything. Now you create this by going outside, you know your neighbor will be there, you know your dog will be there, you know everything is going to be because you have this memory which you can recall. You have this ego that is ingrained into you that's going to recall these memories, that's going to create this webbed soup of vibration into the particle theory whenever you go out into it. And you're going to know that your dog is there, and you're going to know that your neighbor is there, and you're going to know that your work is there, and you're going to know the road is there, and your car is there, and all these things. But as it sits right now, it's just infinite potential. And so if you are able in your mind to draft something magical and a miracle to happen that would be out of the ordinary, and you send out a vibration of that, there is no chance in the world that you won't get it. And this is how the core fundamental vibration and manifestation is created. So I hope you enjoyed it.